Hello, hello. What is up? It's Tuesday, witches, and it's day whatever of quarantine. And me and Christina decided that we would go live on Tuesdays at 10 until this maybe is over. Welcome. What's up? I'm just waiting for Christina to request to come live, and she will be here. Here we go. Yes, she's coming here. What's up, Marilyn? Nice to see you.
Babe,
Hi.
hello. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good today. It's been, you know.
Yeah, I know. This week was the first week that I actually made my kids a school agenda
Oh, yeah.
to actually get work done,
Yeah.
And let's just say I sent the teachers the agenda and I was like, hey, how does this look? And the next day, I got an email stating, "Oh, we're going to start live classes."
We're going to actually do it ourselves. I know.
Start live classes because you parents suck. Sorry.
Yeah. I haven't gotten, Evelyn got a Chromebook from her school. She was super fucking excited for the first day.
That's nice.
And then she was not.
She figured that she had to do work on it.
She's like, what is this?
You're like, oh, that's your work computer.
Yeah, because they send links and different things, and then there's math programs and different stuff that they can do online, and she's just like she was over it within the first day or two.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Now if they they're talking in my district about doing the live stuff as well.
I think they're going to try it for a little bit. If it works, I think that they might keep the school year going. But if it doesn't work, I think that they might be shutting the schools down for the year.
I keep waiting for that to have happened because it's happened in other states.
Yep.
And so I'm like, because we were kind of the epicenter, I feel like they must be arguing amongst themselves as to what to do.
Oh, I'm sure that they are. That they are. Who just told me one state just closed? I can't remember. Maybe it was Danielle that told me. I don't know. It might have been Texas, might have been Florida, might have been Carolinas. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Maybe you should teach how to make
airplanes. Oh, that would that be considered like geometry or engineering?
Yeah. Yes. You could be like, we're going to build or you could do origami.
Yes. Actually, that is I was looking on this one website, and it's for science projects and stuff. And that was one of the science projects is building origami or making origami.
Yeah. It's definitely, well, here's the thing though. My problem is, and overall, that this is all, my kids aren't going to be self-directed doing that. At least not my first grader.
Right.
You know, she has to have me
there with her doing it.
Work with her doing it. And, I have to work.
Shit to do, right? Yeah. So
and I'm privileged enough to like be home.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I work here.
Mm-hmm.
But that just that's not, it's a gift, and it's a fucking not a gift.
Exactly.
So because I feel all the guilt of not being able to be there, keep telling them that I'm working, I look like I'm just on my phone.
I know.
Or they, for them, computer work is not necessarily work. So they don't know what that, so, and they have, they were there last summer when I was working all summer at home. I set up my office on the porch, on the patio, like outside, so they could have run of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And that worked ish, and sometimes, it worked pretty well. But they were used to me like leaving completely, because the year before that they stayed home during the summer together, because I have a 15-year-old, so he watches my daughter. And so that worked because I was gone, and they were fine. And so many things came up. I was like, what did you guys do last summer when this came up? Like, fucking deal with it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
It's just, it's kind of a catch-22 because I have found that working from home is almost considered not working from my family. So
right.
my cats don't understand that I'm working. Yeah, so I have found that when I work from home, I literally get nothing done because I'm constantly mommy, 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 mommy,
Yeah,
doing all these things.
you see my planner when we would
Yes.
get together these last few months. You know, you saw my planner. I mean, daily I have things that I goals that I have to do in order to, because what I do is I do a method where it's like I figure out what I want to get done and then I break it up into parts and I do a piece of it every day so that when
Right.
the deadline comes, it's done.
Right.
And that's not working right now. It's really fucking hard right now.
And how's that? How are you feeling with that, Virgo? How you doing?
I know.
With
Yeah. I mean, all my check marks, they're not,
that?
they're not
Oh my
getting
God.
checked, you guys. They're not getting
Okay.
checked.
All right, let's show
I have
our
things that I've crossed out.
planners. I want you guys to all look at her planner and see how beautifully organized it is. And we're both Virgos, by the way. And now I want you to look in my planner. It's organized just in a different way. Here, ready? Go, show it up, show it up. There's mine and there's hers.
See, so let's talk about this because it looks to me Post-its indicate commitment issues, Christina. To me, it's like, have you committed? And here's the thing, because I write in pen, right? My one of my daughters.
You probably do crossword puzzles in pen too, probably.
Oh, for sure. Yes. So my I think it was my son's girlfriend. She was like, oh, well, my mom just writes in her planner with a pencil and then she can erase it. And I was like, no.
Well, I have all of these things written in pen on these Post-its, okay? But one of the things that I do is I finish a project and instead of scratching it off, I just take it off my fucking list. And I hate to have like eraser marks and stuff, all that in my beautiful planner. That's why I put them on Post-its. But yes,
and I
also have commitment.
Part of me, you know, like, and by the way, of course, like during beginning of the year, you know, this was much more precious to me, right? My planner is precious to me. I love it. I like make out with it. I make dates with it. I like totally have.
And we both have the same planner, and it's amazing. It's amazing. But I got the white one, and she got the black one, which is totally fun.
Yeah, matched by, and you can't necessarily see it, but it shimmers. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's actually one of the best planners I have ever had.
Ever.
Oh, somebody else has one too.
What's that?
Somebody else has one too.
Yes, Melissa has one, and I mean, I don't know how many people I like told about this and was like, I'm getting one. But yeah, when I found it, I was just, I mean, they're on Instagram. It's Magic of Eye. They're from Australia. So especially during the fire time, like everything was crazy.
Yeah.
And they were one of the sources that I looked to find really good information about what was happening there, right? Because they were actually on the ground in and everything. And so I love supporting them. And actually, I think, you know, because shipping is going to shift probably, they had done like a 30% off recently. And I don't know if that's still going, but I think they're trying to get the rest of the planners that they had printed for this year out into the world.
Oh, really? You guys, the name of this the name of this planner is The Magic of Eye. You can get it at themagicofeye.com.
I'm going to put them in the chat.
Perfect.
I think there's an underscore. That sucks. I'm not going to be able to put their at. But
it's Magic if I.
Of I. Yeah, and the I stands for intuition. So it's Magic of Intuition. But the whole front part of it, I mean, it's lovely. They have this space in the beginning where it tells you, you know, you can put in your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. And then it has a whole thing on how to use this planner. Then there is a place to put your birth chart, and you write out your birth chart.
It's
And
so super cool.
my friend Sarah had me do hers for her, and hers looks better than mine. Because but what a cool thing. I mean, and then it talks about working with the moon daily. It talks about different aspects. It has all of the symbols and their associations. It's just amazing. So it's a teaching tool. It's a learning tool. And then it also has like a separate list.
Yes.
Of all the full moons and new moons.
It's a definite, wonderful, amazing thing to have in your purse, and it fits in your purse.
Yes.
You can carry it with you all the time, and not just like Jen said, like it is a amazing learning tool to have. Like there are multiple pages of reading of information in this. Yeah. How to use this chart, how to use this planner to best for the best outcome. I mean, things like that. It's a fucking amazing plan.
It's so amazing. And then even further, like every month so what I love, I have very specific criteria for planners. It has to have a monthly view.
Yes.
It has to have a monthly view.
And then weekly.
And then it needs to have dailies as well, and enough space to write several things.
Correct. But the one thing that I really enjoy about this one too is before the month begins, it has like your monthly goals that you can set in there.
And there's beautiful artwork too. It talks about the intentions. Like this was February, and then it has all the important transits. So when the sun enters Pisces, when the sun sextiles Uranus, when Venus enters Gemini, all of that stuff kind of coagulated at the beginning of the month, and then it has a page for monthly goals.
Yes.
I love it. Has a page for different aspects of your goals, and it breaks it down by week. It's like,
I love it so much. I love it so much. And then like when you're looking at the weekly, underneath every day, it has like magical day, psychic day, go deep, things that get spicy, things like that. I fucking love those things. The one thing I will say is Jen got the black one and hers still looks clean. I got the white one and mine has scuff marks on it. So be aware of that.
I really wanted the white one. I really wanted it, but I also knew.
Yeah. I knew me too, but I still ordered the
And it's like this vegan leather, so it's very, and mine already, it's scuffed up. And I had, that there's an elastic that goes around it, and mine came off. Which
it did.
Because of use.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly like, let me write that down. So, I mean,
like, where's my
passion, my elastic came off.
Where's my Post-its?
Yeah.
So this one says, if you buy the set, you can have a little satchel to protect it. Girl, that's just too much. It's just too much work.
Yes, that's like my purse. It goes in and out of my purse. It gets shoved into my purse. My purse is exactly kind of this size, and so I can fit it with all the things. It's perfect. Yes. It's just perfection. And the other beautiful thing is that it says where the moon's at. So it's moon focused. So every day, there's a little blue icon above it. And of course you have to know, because it has the symbols in it, but then it's got the legend. You can learn the symbols, which is amazing.
And then it's also got the menstrual, the menstrual things in there too. So,
which I use another moon calendar. The moon is my calendar for that. Yeah. Have that too, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's been, with all of this, I realize I shut down my artistic side when I'm in survival mode. So I have not been in that a lot. I've been tracking certain things because I like a cyclical, like a circular calendar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I haven't done, my moon mandalas. I need to probably take some time and do those.
One thing, like I've talked to some of my students too, and they're like, I haven't, during all this, I just haven't done my homework and this and that. And I'm like, you know what? I go, instead of looking at it as homework, look at it as kind of escaping the reality of this world for a minute. So like your mandalas are your way of escaping what's going on in your head. And it's also your way of having some kind of control right now, which lessens that anxiety and brings a little bit of inner peace. So think about it that
practice.
Yeah. Oh, totally. There's
Yeah.
a fucking green one. I didn't know
Oh,
that.
so the green one is not a planner, it's a journal. So there are a line of journals that come in all different colors. So beware that that is a journal. And they're smaller as well, which is amazing.
Got it.
So I rigged up my I have like one of these really fancy phone holder things with a ring, you know.
Oh
my goodness. But so
Did you?
I rigged it up.
Did you see the one that Ophelia rigged out of the goddamn popsicle sticks and hot glue?
No.
Oh, you need to check out her page. You need to check out her page.
So what I did though, so I have one. It's legit, right? It's a tripod, and it has a cool thing. But I rigged an arm on. I rigged an arm on it because I'm doing a video for the Magical Earth subscription box, and I needed it top down. So I didn't want to go. You can buy arm across. You know, you can buy those gadgets, but I didn't want to buy one, and I didn't want to buy one more thing because of the cost, but also I was thinking like one more package at my house. I didn't want to do that. So I was like, okay, how can I? And I was like, well, I can figure this out. I got all the things. So Evelyn was like, I have wire, and she helped me rig it up. So
and you were like, why do you have wire?
I always have wire. Well, yeah. So she knows where my crafts are, and she like sneaks them, right? She's like, I don't know where that went. Which is the same. I used to do that shit to my mom too. Except, like my and I learned from myself. My sewing scissors are deep. She cannot find that shit.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah. Because she's like, oh, you don't need wire cutters. I'm like, yes, you fucking do. So like we have a bunch of scissors, just like in my house when I was young, that do not work anymore because she used them
of cutting the things that you cannot cut. Yes.
But I made this arm, and I have not finished the video yet, so I'm like, I can't dismantle it yet. Anyways, so now my phone. I also have. This is another thing. I don't know if anybody's looking for tips for working from home, but there's such a thing as it's a Logitech keyboard, and it's Bluetooth, and it connects to 3 different devices.
That's super cool.
So I have one, and it has like a little tray. That's what my phone is sitting on right now. Is
very
like
cool.
On a ledge, and I can switch when I'm working. I can switch from my phone to my computer with just a touch of a button, and it's amazing.
That's very cool. Look
and then you can take it. So then you can take it to I used to take it to coffee shops or whatever, and that's how I would work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with my phone and my keyboard, and it's less to haul around than a laptop.
So,
now it's just nice.
This one says that looks like something a creeper would pull out of his hand.
Yes, I'm moonlighting as well as a creeper.
So let
I just need a van.
A van down by the river. So I miss him. So you got creative with your arm, and I got creative. I cut up a box and repurposed that box and made little organizing boxes for my drawers. So I completely organized my desk drawers.
Be still my Virgo heart.
I know.
You're like,
I want to show you something.
For Virgo, this is like, everything is going to be right in the world as soon as all of this is organized. Everything will fall back into place.
Oh, okay, I want to show you this.
Yeah, I want to see this shit for sure.
I gotta turn this around. How do I do that? This way. There we go.
Oh, by the way,
so
that the books are now 75% off, which is amazing.
Oh, so, dude, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
So, also, Jen, I think you are too. Aren't you a pen hoarder?
I'm a pen hoarder.
I got that.
Well, yes.
And then I have another full drawer of them somewhere.
That's good. That'll stay for like a month.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. I won't use that drawer.
Well, and then you get to go, like, what ends up happening for me is that then I get to go around the house and but then they have somewhere to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
My daughter picked, she's like constantly picking things out of the trash and the recycling and being like, this can be used for a craft. Why did you throw it away. And so her recent find is a green bean can, and she made it into a pencil holder. Now, granted, all she did was like wash it out, which I had to tell her to do. And then it's still got the label and everything on it. I'm like, you could decorate it. She's like, no, it's decorated already.
Dude, she is definitely your child.
But also just like, she's like, I'm going to make you one. I'm like, ooh.
You're like, oh my gosh, can it be peaches? No.
Yeah, exactly. Do I get to choose the design?
I love your artistic ability, daughter. I
know. She's like, she's so funny. She's funny. But yeah, she's like, for all your pens, because she knows. She knows. But she's
like, oh, mommy would need a whole case, honey. Mommy needs a whole. We're not gonna waste that much green beans.
Yeah, like all the cans. It's just covered everywhere. I'm like, I need bigger situation. So yeah, I have pencil box. I have them sorted, of course, by pencil box and.
And the size of the lead. It's the size of the lead and shit. You're like, oh, this is 0.7, and here's 0.5. Be very specific.
It's true. But I have, like I won't use certain pens for certain things. I'm like, that can't be used. I have the.
Oh no, I agree with you on that. I agree with you.
Or whatever.
100%. And I have, like when I'm writing, I have special pens that I use to write because they flow so nicely. For me, a pen has to flow. If it's chunky at all, if it skips the ink coming out at all, I'm like, yeah, you're gone.
Yeah, I'm like, broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Why did you throw that pen away? I was like, it's broken. He's like, it still has ink in it. I'm like, no. That's not it's terrible. But there's Inkjoy ones, which are really lovely. And I need a good grip on a pen because really fancy pens and they're very slippery. And I'm like, fuck this.
Because you can't write with them because your fingers are constantly moving down.
No.
I know.
Stop making pens like that. Put a fucking grip on the pen. Don't act like it's being magically written with no hands.
And you're like me in a way that I bet you girls have a chocolate stash too. Oh, yeah, shh.
Come on. Which is dwindling quickly in these times.
I also have vodka hidden in my laundry room.
That's a whole nother situation.
That's for special visitors.
That's for special visitors.
I have to go do laundry.
I'll be back in a little bit. You know, I bought a bottle of wine on the onset of this quarantine because I have not been drinking.
Only one bottle? I'm ashamed.
Yeah, just one bottle. So I haven't, because it's just one bottle, I've been like, should I have it? No. Not yet. It hasn't hit the peak moment.
You're like, I haven't opened one bottle. My husband has brought me home 6-pack of bottle of wine. And every day I'm like, oh, look, I've only broken into bottle number 3 and it's not even been a week yet. I'm so proud of myself.
My sister-in-law, she's parts of wine clubs, right? She's like got one. She was like, and I told her I had one bottle. I was like, I got a bottle of wine. She goes, a bottle? She was like, Jennifer. I was like, Monica, if everything really goes to shit, I know where I'm going. Like, she's got the closet underneath her. She's got cases of her favorite, right? So,
wow.
Because she just keeps them.
Yeah.
But then she also, drinks them. But it's like, and she's still.
I would fucking hope so, actually.
Yeah. No, she drinks them. But she's like, but she like buys them and she's like, oh, I like that. I'm gonna buy 6 of them. She's just one of those people who is like very prepared in that way.
Very prepared to drink.
She likes her wine, So it's just funny that I've been criticized for my lack of wine, but that's okay. I've been drinking Diet Pepsi.
I hardly ever drink soda, and my husband brought home some cherry Coke, and I shit you not, I've had a fucking cherry Coke every day, and I'm like, God damn it, I stopped drinking soda, like, I don't know, 7 years ago, and if I had one, it'd be a Sprite. Yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I was drinking like Dry Soda makes a cola, and it's, you know, made with, I don't think it's made with Zevia, but or stevia, it might be. Anyways, it's very good. It doesn't have all the coloring. It's just really, it's, you know, it's cola flavored. If you taste it after drinking cola, you're like, this is fucking trash. But if you only drink it, then it tastes delicious, right? So I've been on that kick. But like the first day I went to the corner store and I was like, I just bought, you know, I was like, Diet Dr. Pepper, Diet Pepsi. Yeah, oh my God. And this
I
is
just
not,
can't drink the diet
not
stuff
normal
either.
times.
Like
What's that?
I can't do the diet stuff. I can't. If I'm gonna drink it, it's gonna be full of you know, cancer causing sugars and
It's causing aspartame. So it's like, you know.
Exactly. Not to make light of cancer, of course. But if when I do something, man, I'm all full bore. Like, just give it to me. Give it to me.
And usually I would say that that's me too, but like diet soda. I have a real, like, I don't drink juice. I don't drink sugar anymore. Like I've made that, like, I don't drink sugar. But then I don't know how I'm justifying it in my mind. It's just funny how our minds are like, well, then diet soda's okay.
Make sure to pick up a couple cases while you're at the store and have at least 2 a day.
Oh my God. So yesterday I had 3. No, the day before I had 3.
Dude, you must have been bouncing off the walls.
I was definitely, and then I woke up with a raging headache, and my husband was like, well, duh. Yeah. He's like, you've not been balanced. I'm like, yeah. So yesterday I spent a lot of time drinking water.
Good.
Yeah. So I've just, you know, these are the things. I'm like, I'm not stressed out. What are you talking about? Everything's great.
I'm fine. The world's fine. You're all fine.
My actions would say otherwise. Yeah.
So let's get back to the working from home.
Yeah.
So I totally get where you're coming from, because like when Aaron or when the teachers will ask, hey, one of my kids, like, well, what does your dad do? And my kids are like, oh, he works at Microsoft, at Xbox, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And they're like, what does your mommy do? I don't know. She stays home all day. And I'm like, you little fucking motherfuckers. I work. I clean the house. I take care of you. I do my personal work. I'm at your beck and fucking call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you don't know what the fuck I do all day? You know what I mean?
No.
I'm like, me too. So making these agendas for these kids, and thank goodness the teachers actually sent over like a whole weekly agenda with like links and stuff like that, so we could go through it. But still, it's me doing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, like you said, you have to stand right behind them. Exactly. You have to stand right there. You got to prep it. You got to do all this stuff, which I don't mind. But in the same token, like last night, I was up until 2 a.m. working on my website because during the day I was taking care of the kids.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's
well, that's the thing, and like, well, and so the other part is I have friends who are legit, like, they are single parents and they're working still. They're essential. They don't have any, you know, their kids are somewhere, like, they don't have, there's no resource for them. So like, I just keep thinking about that. Not that it's like, you know, but it's like, I at least we have the ability to do this, but it's like these kids that don't have, you know, that privilege. And it used to be, you know, like I said, I used to work out of the home. And so you know, I don't know what I'd do if it were 2 years ago and I was still having to go to work.
Totally.
You know, I would be able to work from home, but I definitely wouldn't be able to meet all the deadlines at that job because of the interruptions and stuff, because I'm not getting anything done. There's so much distraction and so much interruption. So, and then, but you know, I don't know. My kids don't really get, my son gets it, you know, he's older.
You know what? I mean, he's older, but like, my family doesn't get, and like you said, as I'm doing like advertising on my phone or something, because when you are the owner of your own business and you are the sole entity, you are the marketing department, you are the face, you are the fucking physical work, you're the mental work, you're the data processor, like you're fucking everything, you know what I'm saying? So I'm constantly on my phone doing memes, posting things like that. And I get, you're always on your phone. You're always on your phone. And I'm like, I'm always on my phone trying to build my fucking presence. You know what I'm saying? Now
Yeah.
get the fuck out of my face. No.
I've never said that. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sure. I'm sure you haven't.
That's why
I think
my
you're
daughter
a nicer person than I am. So.
I swear at her. Yeah, no, it is. It's true. Like I have work to do on my website. I'm building like this membership stuff, and I'm trying to figure out some other things I had to do. And I have like all these things to build. And
Yeah.
then I actually had some crazy downloads with the work I've been trying to figure out, which is great. I was waiting for Mercury retrograde to get over, and I thought, oh, okay, this is going to move things forward. And it did a little bit. And then this whole thing happened, and I was like, oh, okay. And my mind just had to like, okay.
It had to reorganize a little bit.
Yeah, it was like, it's like, where's my parents? How are, where, what's our pantry look like? What's our, TP situation? What's the, all the things we had to. And then my husband's grandmother passed away. She was 97 almost.
Wow.
And so we also left town to do that right before everything kind of shut down. We had an illegal service at the church, which with more than 10 people at that time.
You know what? I mean, I have been reading where some people are having their weddings were scheduled. They're not getting the refunds back, nothing like that. But yet they have to send everybody a notice saying you can't come to our wedding. You know what I mean? Or this person has passed away. You can't be at their funeral. You can't even have a fucking funeral. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine that, I mean, the wedding, fine, nobody comes, we're doing our thing, but the funeral, that's a different story,
Yeah, it's like people don't get to celebrate with you. That's one thing. You can always have another, not that the money doesn't matter.
Right.
You can
of course.
Have another party. You can have a 1-year anniversary party and make it your wedding, whatever. There's lots of ways to kind of shift with that. But the unprocessed grief that happens when you don't get to grieve in a community of people who loved someone who's passed away.
Agreed. It's heartbreaking. I agree.
And that's deep shit because it just sits with you. And so, yeah, I think it was really good timing.
When she's done, please. Sorry, I had to tell my kid to let the dog in when she is done taking a crap.
But it's one of those, it's like, thank goodness she passed away when she did, because it was just before everything, we would not have been able to, the decision to go down probably.
Right. And isn't it crazy that a statement like that even comes out of your mouth? You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy.
I mean, I probably could have stopped my husband from going, but it wouldn't have, I don't think in good conscience, it was already on my conscience that we went right after the kids had already, like, it was the weekend after they closed the school. So it was like Monday, Tuesday, we went down, and, we probably, it's like they had already shut stuff down, right? They were like, don't go anywhere. Right. And we went down and we stayed with his sister, and everybody's fine and everybody's good. I don't think we've actually contracted anything, but at the same time, like, I feel like I'm one of those people who's really healthy. Yeah. I usually get sick. I don't get flu shots every year, but I usually don't get the flu. So like, I just don't, I figure I'm one of those people who could definitely be like carrying it around and not know.
Gotcha.
So
we have been in the house since February 27th because Hayden came home with a cold, and this was all when it was starting. And I was like, oh, you have a cold? And so I took care of him, and then Hunter got it, and then we all got it. And I was like, yeah, nobody's fucking going anywhere.
Yeah. This is the beginning. Yeah, well, that's the thing is, like, once you're, even if it was, whatever that was, right? Probably just the flu if it didn't last super long.
It was just a regular cold,
But it's like one of those where when your body's fighting something, then that makes you immune compromised. So then all of a sudden you're part of that high risk situation, and it makes you susceptible, right? Because your body's already fighting something. So yeah, I mean, I know other people who had gotten sick like that right before everything happened. And so they've been in quarantine for even longer.
It's crazy. Well, I mean, the whole thing is Hunter's already immunocompromised. So like he only has like one working lung. So I'm like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, well, and then you have to, it's like an STD, right? It's like, well, I know you're safe, but who've you been around and who they've been
Exactly.
around? They've been around and who they've been around and who they've been around. It's like, oh, fuck.
Exactly. That's exactly how it is. It's
Yeah.
exactly how it is. You
Yeah.
know?
So, it's enough where it's like we've been quarantined and we could probably go see my parents, except Dave's essential and he's been around people.
Yep.
So he could potentially bring it home every single day and we
Mhm.
wouldn't know for several
14 days. Yeah. Like 5 to 14 days, I think it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the other part of this is if you have somebody in your household that's essential and leaving every day, then they are potential, so, I can't
Yeah.
imagine if one of us were immune compromised. Is your husband working from home?
Yes.
Yeah.
He has been
Great.
working from home for like 3 weeks now,
Yeah.
and then
Which
he found out that one of his workmates that works just 2 like offices down had it.
Yeah.
So, or has it. So, and then her husband works at a old folks home. So they are way compromised, way like in the house, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's fucking crazy out there, girl. It is fucking crazy. I mean, I'm thinking the zombies are gonna show up soon. And
they're rooting for that. They're like, Evelyn and Seth are both like, Seth's like, I mean, and I think his generation is just like,
yeah.
he insensitively called it the boomer doomer. I was like, you can't call it that around any, like, I was like, I'm not a boomer, but listen, like, you can't do that.
No.
Your
No,
parents,
you
your
can't.
grandparents are boomers, okay? Like, this is not funny.
Yeah.
He's like, it's kind of funny. I've taught my kids way too much sarcasm. Like we all learn humor, right?
I'm sorry, and I don't take this fucking lightly at all. I mean, my dad's in his upper 70s, you know what I'm saying? So I've called him and I'm like, don't fucking leave your house. Don't let anybody come over. Don't fucking leave your house.
Yeah,
stay the fuck home because I can't get out there. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's something that happened. Well, that's the thing is my parents they've just built a house and everything, we were just talking about it. Yes, everything fell into place right before everything happened. And thank God that happened. It all just kind of came together. So, but they're out there an hour and a half away from us, far, not super close to hospitals. My dad's still tinkering around, laying tile, doing plumbing stuff. I was like, so here's the deal, Dad. If you hurt yourself, and they're not ones to really go to the doctor either anyways. Like in my family, we just didn't. We're like, put some witch hazel on it.
Put some Windex on it. It's good.
Yeah.
Windex.
Witch hazel, not Windex, but yeah. So same, right? I mean, it could take a lot. Like I never got stitches. I was not very accident prone, but and my little brother was the most, but he out of everyone, he was the only one who ever went to the hospital. None of us, if something happened, we just didn't, nothing, no, we never, I don't know. We just never ran off to the emergency room. I never spent any time in an emergency room when I was young. Thank
goodness, girl.
Thank goodness. But it was like, I sprained my ankles. I did all sorts of stuff. It took a lot for my parents to take me even to get, anything. and not to say that that's, that's not, it's fine. I'm fine. But, but it's like, it's interesting because that culture, we just never were part of that. Right. And both my sister-in-laws are very much like, they seek medical attention. And maybe they have reason to, it's fine. It's cool. But in my family of origin, we just never ever did that. Right?
Yeah.
We don't have regular doctors, and I think that added to me becoming like an herbalist. And now
I'm sure it did. I'm very sure that it did.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if your family did that and they were using like home remedies and things, of course that would add to that. Yeah. There's like one of our listeners says that they are stuck in their little territories in Washington. Like we all can't leave like our little spaces, you know what I mean? We're all digging our holes deeper into the earth like little fucking ants.
Yes.
And then when this is over, we're all gonna be like all over the fucking place. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know. I think everyone needs to have like, I mean, we're gonna like, this is the thing. This is the sadness. When this is all over, they're not gonna give us an extra day. You know how when you go on a vacation and it's not really a vacation, you go to fucking Disneyland or some shit,
Yeah.
and it's like a vacation, but it's not. It's a trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go on this trip and you're with your family and you're trapped with them, making decisions with them 24 hours a day, and you get home and you're like, well, now I need a fucking vacation.
Exactly.
So
But
that's
you
what
have all the
it's gonna be
laundry
like.
you gotta do. You got all the shit you have to make up for, and so you maybe get a day a month later.
Right. Well, and I can't. I got to the point where, I mean, because I worked for corporate for a long time, I had like 4 weeks of vacation, so I would have just always buffer with an extra day if I could, and I just made that a priority. I was like, if we're going on a long weekend, we go on a camping weekend, I'm taking that following day off.
Yeah. Yes.
In order to get back to normal ish, and yeah, after this, I would presume society would be like, okay, back to work, everyone. And everyone's going to be like, are you fucking kidding me? Because I need a vacation from that fucking shit that we just all went through. Can we get an extra week? We know we can do it for 2 months or whatever it ends up fucking being. So can we have an extra week to decompress and like be with each other?
Right. And
Can we not?
That's the thing that's going on now is I've been reading that, of course, the president wants to save our economy, wants people to start going back to work.
He wants
And
to save his investments.
yeah, and one of the things was, well, we're going to lose people anyway. So these people need to go back to work to save our economy. But what I'm thinking is now there's so many people that are working from home, and it's being proven that things get done when you're working from home. So I'm really wondering how many businesses are going to reconsider, okay, we have all the space that we're paying for all the electricity, we're paying for all the shit, when these people could work from home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I shared a post in my stories maybe last week, or earlier, maybe over the weekend. And this guy, it was a series of tweets that this guy was, and he's like, don't forget, it was a lie when they told you couldn't work from home. Don't forget, it was a lie. You've been lied to. Don't forget that. Like you actually get, you can actually have a better work-life balance in however many parts of these jobs. And not only that, people who have been essential, when this is all happening, I saw it was like, yeah, I have a note that says I'm essential and a paycheck that says that I'm not. And it's like, yeah, fucking right.
Mm-hmm.
And what actually keeps the economy going, and not to say that all of the people who work in, I have a marketing background and I have a sales background. The people who make the food that I was selling and marketing, wouldn't get out there if I didn't go and make relationships, all the things, right? It takes all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, so essential, it's, but at the same time, it's like, listen, you have to spread things out more evenly. And I think if we don't learn that from this time, I don't know what.
I'm just praying that a lot of you need to understand, not everyone's going to learn that, of course. But I'm praying that just enough people that didn't realize it before realize it now, and a change can actually be made. You know what I'm saying? There are some people that are just never going to fucking learn. They're just not going to wake up yet,
No.
And then there are a lot of people that I've noticed that are definitely waking up during this entire situation. And I'm like, that's fucking amazing. So now let's think about the changes that we can create. Let's think about the changes that we've already started creating. Let's do these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my husband's talking about building me planter beds so I can start doing some food growing and things like that. I'm going to get some rain barrels to start collecting rainwater.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think when you shift your life to be centered around the home, you recognize all of the things that make a home. And it's so funny because the first instinct everybody had was to go and get all the things they need.
Yeah.
And then for me, it's like, then I'm in my home and I'm like, well, what where do I want to hang? Like, how do I want all of this to feel? And I've always been that kind of person. I have my son in my fourth house, which is the house of home. And, and so like, it's always been something that I, I want my home to feel, like an expression of myself.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
when people enter it, it's like you're entering into my world a little bit. Despite my husband's like, what is that color? He's very traditional, so it's been very interesting living. But it's one of those where, when we, like all of a sudden my lawn.
It's the wheat field now.
Oh yeah, my lawn is the worst. Yeah, we talked about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's not been mowed yet.
Think about this too. Think about, like we are so lucky that we have our homes. And then there are so many people that don't even have a roof over their head that are catching this. They're stuck outside. They're catching this. And here's my one question. Are they getting tested? You know what I'm saying? Or are they being turned away? They have no insurance. They don't have money. You know what I'm saying? So how many of them are contracting this and dying that we're not even knowing about? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Bernie Sanders interviewed a gentleman. I want to say that he was in one of the southern states, and he's a pastor for a church. He's talking about the homeless and, people who don't, or just, and underemployed people and people who are, before this were already struggling to find sturdy, secure, housing, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and this is the truth. It's like the weakest of us is as weak as we all are. So it's easy, I think, to say like, and this is what I've grappled with a lot emotionally, I think, and it's why I'm drinking fucking Diet Pepsi, is because there's this sense that, I have an overwhelming guilt for having what I have.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that society's been set up so that I have distance and insulation from those people. And yeah, I don't know what that looks like going forward. Like we cannot continue to act as though people who are, food insecure or housing insecure are not a problem.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And not a problem to like be fixed, but it's like it's
something that needs to be acknowledged.
It's a product of our society.
Mm-hmm.
And the middle class, however much it's touted, like, hey, we have a growing middle class, we have a strong middle class. A lot of politicians talk about the strong middle class, and it's like the way that the middle class gets sold to everyone. Then you strive to be middle class, thinking maybe you'll end up a millionaire, but at least you're not these guys. And it's like the homeless get kind of, and it's a sliding door. So many of us are living paycheck to paycheck, one month to the next.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And then you have these CEOs that are like, I'll give up a year of my salary. It's like, if you can give up a year of your salary, well, fucking fuck.
You're like, I can't give up my grocery money, but you're going to give up a year of your salary.
Yeah, like I can.
But and then on the other hand, you're like, well, thank you for being so generous and donating. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It feels like you're, oh my hero. Like, wait a minute. You mean
you're like, how much fucking money do
salary
you
every
have?
year and you don't fucking need it? Are you kidding me? Well, the people who work for you and who build your business are struggling every day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's and I don't know. I'm yeah.
I agree with the I agree.
Marilyn says the right is attacking Fauci. Yeah, so many people in this country are delusional. I live in a red state. Austin is blue, but Texas is red. Yeah, people are killing the messenger. Like, oh, this guy is fucking
right.
It's
right
now they have this woman. They have this woman now coming on to talk about the scientific piece of it, because I think he went a little too rogue. And then Fauci was on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, which I highly recommend you watching those videos that are in his Instagram TV. And so he, you know, because he was like, I'm, you know, they're like, here, put on this megaphone. It only changes your voice a little bit. It's like the Darth Vader megaphone. You know, it's like, he's saying like everything, you know, you need to, and then it comes out like everything's fine. And I was, there was a healthcare worker who went live the other day, or she was on TikTok or some shit. Anyways, I've been consuming so much media, but so, but so she was talking, she was like, hey, I'm an ex-healthcare worker. And I just want to tell you guys, everyone who is, you know, working in the healthcare system right now, they sign NDAs, they get, you know, when the CDC is involved and they put down missives and they say, you must not tell people what's going on, they are criminally held responsible for keeping those truths under wraps. And so she
because
says,
it would create world panic.
exactly.
You know
She's like, but they shut down the NBA and they shut down this. They just shut down all the parks. Did you hear this? My husband was telling me all the parks are shut down.
All the national parks are shut down now.
So it's like, if they're doing that shit, read the room. She was like, read the room. Like, don't think that what they're giving you as guidelines is enough. If they're making decisions at a top level based on information that they're clearly not giving you, read the room.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, there's always secrets behind all of it. So the best thing that people could do is to take the precautions. And if you can stay the fuck home and stay the fuck away from people.
Yeah. And take every precaution when you go out.
Stop bitching about it. Stop fucking bitching about it. Just do it so we can get the fuck over this thing and shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Well,
I'm going to run for president. Shut the fuck up and do what I say. No.
Shut the fuck up 2020. No, I think that already went. Like, that's make America shut the fuck up again. I think that's actually a current.
It's a thing. It's already a thing. Okay, I won't repeat that.
But here's the thing is that people lose their shit. It's like, instead, why don't you find some tools? You know, never in my life have I been so thankful of what I've been doing the last couple of years, which is meditate, yoga, healing modality, practice.
It's hard for people to find tools because we have been so on the go for so long. That's what everyone knows now is what's my next hurdle I have to jump? What's my next victory I have to win? What's my next step? It's always thinking ahead. So when we say find some tools, they're like, well, my tool was working. My tool was going to work and get number one, getting out of the house. Number two, being able to use my brain. Number three, being appreciated at my office, if hopefully they were. You know what I'm saying? So when we say find some tools and we're like, hey, go ahead and just sit down and meditate. These people have no idea how the fuck to sit down. At all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And without having even being an entrepreneur and working for myself, like I have like my plan, like I have to decide what my goals are and then I have to show up for them.
Right.
And it's much different. You know, my husband comes home from work and it hasn't happened recently because I think his work, they've really pulled together and done some really cool things to support the people that he works with. But, you know, he's got bosses that he, you know, and people he works for that he's not super excited about. Right. So he would come home and kind of bitch about him. And I was like, I can't bitch about my boss to you. Like, I don't have that. Like, I think she's amazing. She's just stop.
There are days when I bitch about my boss. And but like, she's a fucking whore. She's such a fucking whore today. She was such a bitch to me. And I just don't understand.
Lindsay says, yeah, we can pray that they see the value of supporting their employees. Yeah, I mean, I think this is really bringing that to focus, which is beautiful. And those who get the message, this is the time, I think it's really coming through.
This is the time.
Marilyn says, and my hardcore Republicans are taking advantage of food stamps, etc. Like, what the fuck? Are you still pro-Trump? I mean, you know, one of the things that I saw that was really lovely is like, if you are income secure, like if you're one of these people who is being able to work from home or even, you know, able to do the things, it's like, think about those small businesses that you always support. Like you go and get your hair cut.
Yeah.
You go and get your dogs groomed. You go and get your nails done. it's like, if you want those businesses to be there when this is all over, you might just consider, I had an appointment. I would normally be paying $45 right now to go and get my nails done or whatever. I'm going to pay that money anyways to that business. And I was like, that's a beautiful fucking thing. If you're secure and you're paid, keep paying those small people who support your life.
Yes. And we're not just saying that because we're the small people too, but think about it this way. I've got all of this, and when I don't have a stylist, this shit gets out of control. Not to mention my waxing, dude. It's starting to turn into Sasquatch, Thygina. Like, I mean, the 70s show, like, I'm like, okay, I can't even go and get a goddamn wax right now. This is not okay. This is not okay.
I never ever shave. I don't shave
really?
anything.
I have to, dude.
Sometimes I shave my nether bits just for fun.
I never shave down there. Ever.
Sometimes I do that. I haven't done that in a while, but like I maybe shave my legs once a year, just because my husband's like, ooh, like he literally has smoother legs than me because his long hair from years has been rubbed off, right?
Oh my god.
He's got like shiny. I'm like, ooh, love these. He's like, yeah, they're nice, right? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't do anything for that. I was like, listen. I'm a busy lady. But I stopped shaving my armpits in college. I stopped shaving my armpits in college, and I just don't. I don't know.
Really?
I've considered dyeing them purple or something to match the drapes.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Oh my god.
So good.
Let's see. I just shaved my legs. I think it was yesterday. And to be quite honest, that was about the first time in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so needless to say, I've been sleeping with dummy pants on because,
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this is not okay.
Calm down.
And then I'm like, why does my hair grow so damn fast? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I know. Well, and so my thighs, because I never shaved my thighs I did when I was really young, because I was like, oh my God, because I'm a hairy lady. I pluck my face more. Like I grew my face, and I got chin, I got all this business. So
hormonal.
I do all that. Yeah. But my thighs don't have hair on them anymore because it's rubbed off over the years. It doesn't grow anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just keep waiting for that for the rest of my legs. Dave says it's getting to the stage where us guys have sexier legs than the ladies. Hey, I'm here for that. I'm here. It's your turn. Your fucking turn.
You know what? It's getting to the age that us ladies don't give a flying fuck anymore. Yeah. That's what this age is.
Yeah. I mean, fundamentally, fundamentally, I think there's something interesting. You want to talk about creeper van. There's something interesting about thinking that clean shaven is sexy, because the only time that we don't have hair on our bodies is prepubescence. And without getting but I think there's something psychologically interesting about that. And every man, woman should think about that.
Well, when I am, waxing and all that stuff, I enjoy it because I feel cleaner. It's weird, but I feel like I'm not carrying the germs of the world in my hair follicles everywhere.
That's legit. That's legit. No, and I totally, there's so many reasons, and I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to feel that. But when we think that is associated with sexy, it's interesting to just kind of think about, where does that come from and why do we believe that? And to be very, I don't know. It's, not to say that nobody should shave. Do what you want. Fucking do what you want. Feel amazing. Everyone should feel amazing. I feel powerful with my hairy armpits, to be honest.
You go, girl.
So that's something, and it's a meaning that I've given to it. I feel powerful when I'm wearing some fancy dress at a wedding and I'm all dolled up and stuff, and then I raise my arms for the YMCA. I'm like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So that's my own association. That's fine. And everyone backs up 6 feet. And it's like, yeah, coronavirus. See, I was already encouraging social distance.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's one fucking way to do it.
Oh my God.
You do your armpits and I'll just keep my vagina to myself.
I think it's gonna kick us